Right. Keeping young. That's the theme for today. Mindset. Okay, take your feet shoulder width apart. One of the easiest ways to keep young and keep mobile is get that spine energized. So start off with rotation, knocking. So think why we're doing this movement. It's getting the vertebra, the joints in the spine, mobile, rotating one on top of the other. So get that idea of lifting and lengthening. So you're lengthening the spine, lifting upwards, creating space between each vertebra. Relaxing the shoulders. And then we're just tapping on the back, lower back and belly, getting the blood flow in that area, assisting with the lymphatic drainage. And just soft, easy breathing in and out through the nose. Quiet, soft, effortless breathing. Bringing your awareness down to the feet and really just keeping the feet connected to the ground. Not over tightening the feet or not tensing the toes, but just really having good contact through the ball of the foot, heel of the foot. Just notice how the ankles rotate. Working your way up to the knees. So just softness in the knees. We're not going into a bended knee as such, but there's softness in the knees so that you can rotate through the knees as well. Then working your way up to hips. Have a sense of the top of the femur bone, the top of the leg, smoothly rotating in the hips. And then again bringing your awareness up to lengthening the spine. Light and lifted through your upper body. Slowing it down now, slowing down. And just standing for a moment. You can bring your feet a little bit closer together. Just take up a comfortable standing position. Nice and tall. Relaxing the shoulders, letting the shoulders go. Stepping back out. Palm facing the ground. A little bit of roundness in the elbow then. Almost imagine that you've got a little bit of resistance pushing up on the hand. So we create a little bit of tension through that arm, good tension, and we create a little bit of tension through that upper arm there. So we're keeping tall through the spine. And then we swap, we do little finger to little finger, and then again, imagine that you're just pushing down to the ground, pushing up to the sky. And swap. And get that ease in and out. So we're moving and then it sort of like eases. There's that slower movement. Stretch the fingers out. Stretch the ribs out. And keep breathing. So we're breathing a nice calm breath in. And breath out. And then in and out. Follow your breath now. So if it's a little bit quicker, that's fine, but keep it easy. Keep that ease of movement and that little bit of a lull at the top of the breath. That ebb and flow as we change direction. And then just in your own time, when you're ready, next in breath, lengthening out and then squeezing a lemon, squeezing an orange in the opposite side, opposite hip to rib. And then swapping. Make sure you extend first. So extend the spine first and then, so you feel that nice stretch down that side. Keep tall, watch that you're not leaning back. And make sure that you're breathing easy. So not holding the breath, not straining. Remember that word pandiculation, the way animals will stretch. So it's like slows down at the top of the movement to change direction. Slows down at the bottom of the movement to change direction. Taking one more each side. And then resting for a moment. Bringing your feet, that's probably just underneath the hips. Again, so a comfortable standing position. Notice how the spine feels. And then stepping out. A little bit of spinal cord breathing. This one we just bend the knees a little bit more. Breathing in, expanding. Opening the throat. Breathing out, tucking the pelvis. Breathing in. And breathing out. Following your breath. Again, just imagining how a cat stretches in the morning, a nice open stretch without forcing, without straining. Let's do a couple more. And then when you're ready, just taking a rest. Have a little bit of a shake out. Shake the legs, have a little walk around if you need a little bit of a walk around. And then we'll do a little bit of balance. So we've done this one previously. Last week I think we did this one. I'll mirror you standing on your left leg first. Just step back. We're not going to go into a full lunge here. We're just going to do a little bit of step back so you've got the ball of the right foot on the ground. I'm going to show you from the side. So we just there, shift your weight forwards a little bit, and then you've got the ball of the foot there. So you're nice and balanced, but it's a little bit slightly challenging. So we're in that position, bending that back knee, shifting the weight over that front leg, and then we'll do that little bit of a stretch. So you're bringing up your right hand if I'm mirroring you, and you're just gently pushing through. So we'll put a little bit of pressure pushing through that way, and then come back to center. Step forwards with the right leg, step back with the left leg. Doesn't have to be a full lunge. You're just doing an easy one, or an easier version of it to start off with. Weight through that ball of the back foot, and then we're stretching out this side. So we reach up, stretch through. So we're getting this nice lengthening of that whole chain now into that back leg, making sure that you are breathing. And then just keep repeating that side to side. If you've got space, you can do this walking. If we haven't got space, we just step back, balance, reach through. Breathing easy, take your time. Always find that stabilization first, always balance first, and reach. Step, balance. Remembering that you need to stay at your comfortable rhythm, your comfortable pace. We're challenging ourselves. We're exploring our range of motion. We're finding our edge, but without being, without pushing, without forcing, without having any holding of the breath or losing the breath. Let's do a couple, one more each side. And you might find one side is much more fluid than the other, or you might find actually it's pretty even. And then take a stand. Shaking out. Shaking out. Another one, another nice one in that position. Again, just to challenge our balance a little bit, and just to put ourselves in a position that is a bit more challenging in terms of gravity, etc., and in terms of hips and balance. So we'll do the same thing. You step back. This time we're going to bring our hands above our head, and we're just going to drop that hip out a little bit. So that hip is moving out to the side. So we're really challenging our balance a little bit there, and getting a little bit of movement through the hip. We're getting that nice length here through the rib cage. And then step back up, keeping the head, keeping the arms up, step back, and then we're drop that hip out over to the side. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Step back, balance. And then just find that rhythm. If you need to give your arms a little bit of rest, you can take your arms down, then bring your arms up. But the idea is to drop the hip out and then drop that upper body over it. So again, we're just challenging ourselves, but really being in control. And we know we're in control because we're breathing, we're balanced. Do one more each side. Dropping the hip, And when you're ready, taking a rest. Good. Have a little shake out again if you need to shake. Have a little walk around if you need to have a little walk around. Let's do some tigers. Again, just go into your comfortable depth. And remember, it's not about leaning forwards. That hinge forwards comes from the hips gliding back. So keep that chest facing forwards and coming up. So I'd rather you get to here rather than come up, rather than get to here and then start to lean forwards to get down. It's about dropping your center of gravity, dropping your hips down. Drop your center of gravity, come back up to standing. So the spine is staying fairly neutral. You're keeping lengthening and lifting through the spine. It's working the hips. This is what is nice about having this claw, like the tiger claws here. It's like you're there, strong through the back, and then softly pushing up through the ground, from the ground through the legs. Breathing easy, finding your rhythm. Let's do a couple more. Standing tall at the top. And then taking a rest. Definitely feel it in the hips today. Same thing, but we just do that little step forwards with one side. So we'll step forwards, I'll mirror you with your left. So we've just got a little bit of a split, excuse me. Still got that wide stance. And we'll go down the center. So you've got a little bit more weight through that front foot. And as you stand up, there's a little bit more weight through that front foot. And then step back. And then opposite side. Shift that weight over. A little bit more weight over that front foot. We're going down the center though. And then step back, step forwards. Again, if you've got space, if you're doing this on your own, if you're outside, or if you've got a bit of space in the house, then you can step and walk forward. So you'd be like walking, stepping, coming up, and then stepping. And again, just go to your comfortable depth. If you're here, that's absolutely fine. If you're here, absolutely fine. It's not about how deep you can go. It's about shifting the weight, center of gravity over that front leg, and then gravity over the front leg there. Let's do a couple more. And then take a rest. And shake out. Then shake out the legs a little bit if you need to. Good. Let's do a little bit of flow. So those are a little bit more challenging movements, a little bit more strength movements. We're still flowing in those movements. You still want to get that sense of strength, but ease of movement as well. But let's do a few little Qigong flows just to finish off the session. Let's do opening the flow. So you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And then we'll add a little bit of a squat to this movement. So it's like opposite to the tiger. So as you breathe in and the arms float up, you just drop down a little bit. And then as you breathe out, stand tall. So you don't have to go deep. It's just dropping down a little bit. Weight drifts a little bit more towards the heels there. And then as you stand tall, a little bit more as you're standing up towards the ball of the foot. Finding your rhythm. Just think of dropping your center of gravity, dropping the lower dantian down. Relaxing the shoulders, softening the elbows, softening the fingers. Keeping that spine light and long. And then just when you are ready, just taking a moment. Baby bird learning to fly. String on the elbows. Imagine that string on the elbows. Relax the shoulders. The string goes and the elbows drop. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Use the spine rather than the shoulders to lengthen up. Think about a very mini version of spinal cord breathing here. As you drop, maybe just that little bit of bend again into the knees, into the hips. As you lift, stand that little bit taller. Remember all of these movements, even though they just look like simple arm movements, the whole body is involved. When you watch someone moving with ease and it looks effortless, it's because the whole body is involved in absorbing forces. And when you watch someone who's looks stiff and tight and stressed in terms of movement, it's when you find the blockages. And you'll know that when if you walk or if you run, and sometimes you feel a little bit tight and a little bit stiff, which is normal, which is natural. But what is nice about doing these flows is it really works for helping to get that sense of ease and flow with movement. Smooth, fluid movement. Let's move from the baby bird into the fountain. So it is a little bit more hips glide back, standing tall, and then out to the side. We're remembering our 5 elements. The fountain is the water element. The water is about relaxation. Water is linked to the kidney meridian. In Chinese medicine, that kidney meridian starts towards the bubbling spring. So the ball of the foot, firstly the little toe, but then the ball of the foot, that main bubbling spring, draws energy from the ground up through the body, through the kidneys, through the organs. So this is that idea of drawing energy from the ground up into your organs, cleansing and clearing here any negative energy. Think of that out breath as detoxifying, cleansing and clearing, even though it's a soft out breath through the nose. Letting go. When you're ready, just taking a moment. Pulling down the heavens. Breathing in. Here we gathering that energy from the heavens, from the sky. Bringing it into our center, lower dantian. Centering ourselves, grounding ourselves. Interlocking thumbs, resting on the lower abdomen, bringing your feet together, and then just allowing the body just to rock and sway. And then taking a slightly fuller breath in through the nose. Opening your eyes. Stepping out. Giving yourself a little brush down. Good. Excellent. Brilliant. Thank you. Hope that has got you energized for the day. Just a few little things coming up. Next Thursday, I've not emailed any of this out to you if you're on the email list yet, but it will come out in an email. But next Thursday evening, the 20th, between 8 and 9 p.m. If anybody's interested in the Oxygen Advantage instructor training in Scotland, the retreat in Scotland, Andrew and I are going to do another webinar on that, because it's nice for people just to jump in and just find out a little bit more about that. And we obviously do a little bit of breath work as well, so you can join in that. It's a free webinar. And also next Saturday, 2 till 3 o'clock UK time. Again, I haven't put any emails out on this yet, but just make a date in your diary for our Unlock the Power of Breath, because I know we haven't done one of those for a while. If you're on our premium membership, if you're on the Zoom membership, that's free. There's a charge of £15 if you just want to jump in on that, if you're not on the premium membership. So that's next, not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday, which is the 20 something. So it's not this weekend, it's the weekend after, but that will come out in an email to you all and all the booking details and everything, but I just thought I'd give you a heads up on that. Excellent. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks for joining, and I will see you soon. Take care.
You.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.